Seemed like a pretty good spot for a concert. Hard coal. My first day at the mine, they handed me a bulldog shovel, had me down on my knees in that tunnel, mucking away. Down there it's all the same, you never see the seasons change, no sun, only rain, day after day. Where it's all for Friday's pay, and it's hardwood, hard coal, it's hard on a man. Now and then the lucky few got to work on the timber crew, cutting props to hold the roof out in the woods. Dropping oak in the morning sun, couldn't be no branches on, it's gotta be straight and strong to be any good. Where it's all for Friday's pay, and it's hardwood, hard coal, it's hard on a man. When it came to the head miner, honky eggs at the diner, he's given his share of shiners to men in his day. Now his bones are getting old, I bet half his blood is cold. He spent most of his life in a hole, coughing away. Where it's all for Friday's pay, where it's hardwood, hard coal, it's hard on a man. The sound of the creek is like applause. I'll take it. It's not the same thing as performing at Elk Creek or Bullfrog Brewery or other places, but this is a pretty cool opportunity to come out and play some of my songs in the middle of the woods for y'all. Beautiful. This little creek goes through my property. My wife and I have these woods here, and I've always just loved this spot. Love this spot. So thanks for picking some more songs. This has been very therapeutic, you know, hearing what songs you all want to hear this week and as we get through this time together. So Hard Coal was a request. I also had a request for this one, Crosscut Saw. And a little shout out to my friends at Lewis Lumber. Thanks for the hat, guys. I know they'll enjoy this song. Well, the war, it was over, Mr. Lincoln had won. I drew my Navy wages and returned to my home, to Sullivan County where my grandfather came. The soil was rocky and the sky always rained. I remember Grandpa's stories of when he was a kid, of bison in some lowlands and elk on the ridge. But now they're all gone and a new hunt has begun, to find the tie a dot net and make the sawmills hum. All I need is my crosscut saw, my double bit axe and 80 trees to fall. The spring, it's coming, I can smell it all around. My soul's being tempted by that high water sound. On the loyal sock, it's straight and it's tall. There is pine up there like you ain't never saw. Only brave loggers bear the winter cold, and the snow falls heavy on the Appalachian fold. Well, it's up in the morning at 5 a.m. Throw down some biscuits, some coffee and ham. A 12-hour shift with a teamster crew, skidding logs to the water through the ice and snow. All I need is my crosscut saw, my double bit axe and 80 trees to fall. The spring, it's coming, I can smell it all around. My soul's being tempted by that high water sound. We lash our logs together with hickory and oak, No rope, no iron, just pins and bows. A sweep at the front and back and a shack for the crew. 20,000 board feet, ready to tie loose. When the ice finally breaks and the water's good and high, we'll head down the Loyal Sock, our crew of 5. A day on the raft down to Montoursville. We hit the Susquehanna where the water's smooth and still. All I need is my crosscut saw, my double bit axe and 80 trees to fall. The spring, it's coming, I can smell it all around, and my soul's being tempted by that high water smell. Once we get to Marietta, we sell off our logs, $100 split by 5 river hogs, and we head back north, walking all the way, with a hand on your knife and the other on your pay. Well, if it's a good season, we'll have 2 or 3 more runs, then this year is over and summer has begun. I'll watch as the rust, it builds upon my tools, and I'll long for the day I'm back with my logging crew. All I need is my crosscut saw, my double bit axe and 80 trees to fall. The spring, it's coming, I can smell it all around, and my soul's being tempted by that high water sound. Cool. I don't know if you can see it. There's one white pine hiding right behind this poplar. There's a white pine, but there's some pretty white pines behind me here on Montour Ridge. I love that tree. Boy, what a pretty spot. I am going to sing you a song that was requested about the walking purchase. And I was asked to give a little bit of the background so you really understand the setup of this story. William Penn had really good relationships with Native Americans in Pennsylvania. His sons were not William Penn, and that's where this story picks up. William Penn's sons made a deal with the Lenape Indian, the Lenape or Delaware Indians, that they owed as much land to Pennsylvania as a man could cover in a day and a half. To this day, historians cast a lot of doubt onto whether or not the document that they showed the Lenape people was even real. Could have been a forgery, we just don't know to this day, but it left a really bad taste in their mouth, and a lot of historians think that's partially what led to a lot of atrocities during the French and Indian War. The Delaware Indians were furious about this walking purchase, as it's known. So I'm not going to tell you how many miles it is. You have to listen to the distance in the song, but a man left Philadelphia, actually 3 men left Philadelphia, and after a day and a half, I want you to listen to how many miles the farthest man went, and I want you to listen to what happened to all 3 men, because their story is a tragedy as well. I'll tell you the rest of it after I sing the song. 3 woodsmen known for being fast, promised land and money if they passed. The Indians could hardly keep up and said they never smoked a pipe or stopped to hunt. It started at the old chestnut tree, sunrise September 19th. 2 hours and Jennings was done. He never recovered from his run. Run, Yates, run up the Delaware. 65 miles, and not half of them fair. I don't fault you, you're just a hired man. In 37, we stole that land. On day 2, it was Marshall and Yates. They had till noon of that day. Yates fell after a while. Marshall ran 65 miles. That day, Yates lost his sight. 3 days later, Yates lost his life. Marshall made it to Mock Chunk. At the end to a sapling he clung. Run, Yates, run up the Delaware. 65 miles, not half of them fair. I don't fault you, they're just a hired man. In 37, we stole that land. New Tamas felt betrayed by the deal. Friends and brothers, they never cheat and steal. Marshall never got his land, or the money that was promised by the pen. His payback, it took a different form. The Indians attacked him on his farm. His sons and later his wife paid for the purchase with their life. Run, Yates, run up the Delaware. 65 miles, not half of them fair. I don't fault you, you're just a hired man. In 37, we stole that land. What a story. So as you heard, there were 3 runners. I named the song after Yates because that poor fellow ran himself to death. His family, as far as I know, got nothing, and I just thought that's a tragedy, and I wanted him to be remembered. Jennings was another runner, and he fell out in the first day, and I read that his hips and his knees were never the same. Like he did permanent damage to his body. And then Marshall, the man who went the farthest, 65 miles in a day. I cannot even begin to understand how a person did that in moccasins, running through the woods. This wasn't paved roads like we have nowadays. You know, just last week, my friends and I ran the Humdinger here in Danville, and it's a trail race through the mountains of Danville. And it's 8 miles, and it was all I could do to finish those 8 miles. I cannot imagine 65 miles in a day and a half. So to all you ridge runners out there and folks who do trail runs, I think it'd be really special to put something together where we run those 65 miles over the course of, you know, let's pick a week and let's just do 10 miles a day together. I think it'd be really fun to do, and I don't know, maybe it'd be kind of special to run it backwards. Be my suggestion. Let's start in Jim Thorpe and run it in reverse. You know, you can't turn back history, but me personally, I've always felt as a Pennsylvanian that story does not sit well with me, and I think we wronged a lot of people. And we're the heirs of that, you know. I don't want to preach at you too much, but we're the heirs of that land deal. And on one hand, you might say it's got nothing to do with us up here in central PA. It's got everything to do with us. Just the place names, for example. All around the Danville area, there are Lenni Lenape place names because those people were displaced. They lost their land in Philadelphia area, and they moved to here, up and down the Susquehanna River. The Delaware Indians did not live along the Susquehanna River until that land purchase happened. So it has a lot to do with the names and the people that continue to live in this area today. My Uncle Jay Lisby was a Native American, just passed away about a year ago, and never had a chance to share that song with him or talk to him about it much, but he grew up here in the Danville area, and his mother was 100% Native American, and I believe he said Munsee. which is a Delaware tribe. So again, right there it is in my family. So it relates to us in that way. I went to Mahoning Cooper Elementary School. Mahoning is a Delaware Indian word. How about some banjo? How about some banjo? I come out in these woods with my banjo and I go for walks because the banjo is a pretty loud instrument. It's not quite bagpipes, but it's the kind of instrument that sometimes my family needs a break from it. And so sometimes I just go for walks through these woods in the summer months, picking the banjo, and so I'm actually right at home here on this thing. Right at home, out in the woods. I had a request for Sassafras Tea. I don't see any sassafras in the immediate area. I have them on the land here, but I don't see any right around us. Here you are, Sassafras Tea. Sassafras tea, sassafras tea, from the roots or the leaves. Sassafras tea, sassafras tea, it's the nectar of the mountains to me. Well, they say it's bad for you if you drink too much, gallons and gallons, a whole bathtub if you drink a whole bathtub. They say it's bad for you, but if you drink that much, I'd say you have issues. Sassafras tea, from the roots or the leaves. Sassafras tea, the nectar of the mountains to me. Oh, I've always loved good sweet birch, a twig in my mouth when I'm working on work. But no matter how I boil, no matter how I steep, I can't make birch into good tea. The sassafras tea, from the roots or the leaves. Sassafras tea, the nectar of the mountains to me. That Indian spice bush, I love that smell. The leaves, the berries, they do me well. Well, my neighbor Keith, he made some into brew, but compared to sassafras, it just won't do. Sassafras tea, from the roots or the leaves. Sassafras tea, the nectar of the mountains to me. I suppose you could spike it and give it some kick, but I prefer it plain, just as is. Hey, when my days are over, won't you raise a toast to me? And I hope that your glass is filled with sassafras tea. Sassafras tea, from the roots or the leaves. Sassafras tea, the nectar of the mountains to me. Hey, Indian spice bush right next to me, just waiting for springtime. That one doesn't look so good. Another Indian spice bush right here. Bunch of it out here. I love Indian spice bush, and there's a whole stand of birch around me too, but it just doesn't have the same kick as sassafras. Don't tell them that. I got one more song for you. Thanks for coming out in the woods today. This is where I spend most of my time when I can. Love it out here. Thanks for all the donations in the tip jar this week. It's been very appreciated. Can't believe how the generosity has poured in. I'm definitely going to be missing my live gigs. I realize, I'm the recluse. I'm the person that claims to not like crowds and stuff, but the truth is I miss performing out for y'all, and I miss meeting people and talking to you and hearing your stories about mountain lions and all the other stuff you share with me. I do miss it. I I don't have any update on what'll go on with all my April dates, but I can tell you my Bullfrog Brewery date for next weekend is canceled. I was supposed to be in Canton tonight. Canceled. So please, if you're able, keep throwing a little of what you can in that tip jar. It is certainly appreciated. And I'll keep the songs coming either way. How about that? Keep the requests coming too. Boy, you haven't picked a bad song yet, or at least you haven't picked a song I'm opposed to playing, put it that way. I had a request for Crescent Moon. I'm going to give it my best shot. This is one I have not done terribly recently. I guess I recorded it with my nephew Ethan Weeder on our album Whales. And then 20-some years ago I recorded it on Climbing to the Top, the acoustic version. So what am I going to play today? I guess something in between. Something in between the electric version of how I play with Ethan and the acoustic version how I wrote it. I'd like to thank my band, The Creek. I could find no official name for this creek, so I've called it Collier's Creek. And the reason I do that is there's charcoal flats all over this mountain from where people used to make charcoal for the Liberty Iron Furnace, which is about 2 miles to our east. And so in memory of these colliers that used to work these hills, Collier's Creek. Maybe when I'm done with this song, I'll give you a quick tour. I don't have a phone, so I've got my laptop out here in the woods. Not the most user-friendly for showing you things, but I'll give you my best tour I can. I'm used to being in the woods with a guitar or banjo. I'm not used to being in the woods with a laptop. I had a dream last night that I did something right, and it all worked out okay. I wasn't messing up like I do when I'm awake. A dream is a gift in life, a thread spun from the night, while it's tied around your heart. My heart is tied but free to go out in the dark. I'll dream a dream for you. It'll be right on, it'll be in tune. I've got nothing to hide like a far-off star and a crescent moon. In God do you trust, or has your faith turned to rust? Like the car that you drive, you choose to believe what you want, but I choose to be alive. You've got to be so bold to let go of the old and to jump into the new. We've been given the gift of today, and tomorrow will be yours too. I'll dream a dream for you. It'll be right on, it'll be in tune. Well, I've got nothing to hide like a far-off star and a crescent moon. Let me put the guitar down. Let's go for a little walk. See what we can find. Show you the creek first. And then I'll give you a quick tour of this thing. I forgot to mention it. Call this the Bunkhouse. I grew up on Bald Top Mountain in Danville, and my dad had something like this built for us when we were kids, and we'd sleep out in it. So built this for my boys and I. Sleep out here now and then. Pretty cool place to hang out. Here, why don't we go in the front door proper style? Give you the whole tour. There's been a squirrel living in here. Let's hope he's not in here right now. I don't want to scare him. These bunks were in the bunkhouse that I grew up in, I was telling you about. And what's crazy is I looked on the ends of them, and they're actually manufactured about 2 months before Pearl Harbor. So there's some, they say, yeah, U.S. Army. Come out here. There we go. Down there's where we just did the concert. Come on, is that living or what? You got a little stove. I had thought about doing the concert up here. And I thought, oh, I'll get a fire going for you all. So I threw some paper and matches in my pocket, but ended up liking the creek better. So I'll start a fire. Look at that. Life is good. Fire won't keep you warm when you're sleeping in there, but it's nice. Sometimes I'll come out here and sit on the porch and just kind of get a fire going, warm up, play banjo. Come on, you got to see this view again. It's just incredible. Sit here, look down at the crate. So, be thinking of you all this week. Take care of each other. Take care of loved ones. Now's a good time just to remember how important it is to have loved ones. Thank you all for the love you show me and my family. Do appreciate it. And I'll check in with y'all later. Enjoy the songs. Keep the requests coming.